Happy Friday, everybody. And this is What Up 1A, the most important First Amendment news you totally missed because you're scrolling on Insta, reading all about Taylor Swift's new album coming out in October. But here's the headline. When it comes to your kids being on social media, one state down south says those under 18 will need a hall pass, a literal permission slip because cat videos are now a public health threat. On Thursday, the Supreme Court refused for now to block a Mississippi law that makes social media platforms like TikTok, Insta, YouTube, and X verify your age and get parental permission if you're under 18, because that's what we all need, tech giants eroding more of your privacy. But I digress. The tech trade group NetChoice sued, saying the law violates not just your privacy rights, but the First Amendment rights of young people. And here's the thing. This wasn't the big constitutional showdown. This was an appeal from an injunction. Translation, Mississippi won the right to enforce the law while the lawsuit crawls through the courts. A federal judge originally hit pause on the law. Then a Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals panel said, go ahead. Enforce it. NetChoice ran to the Supreme Court saying, stop this now, stop it. And Justice Kavanaugh, yes, that Justice Kavanaugh, he basically said, you'll probably win eventually because, this law may be unconstitutional, but for now, keep those hall passes handy. That's like telling someone, yeah, the brakes are shot, but you can still drive down to Florida. And here's where I got to remind folks. Kids actually do have First Amendment rights. This isn't me talking. This is the Supreme Court in McEnroe versus BL. That's the cheerleader Snapchat case. The court said schools can't just punish off-campus speech that they don't like because kids have a First Amendment right. But laws like Mississippi's keep feeding the myth that minors have zero free speech rights online. Now, I know what some of you are screaming back to me. But Israel, social media platforms, social media harms kids. And I agree. My good friend, NYU professor, Jonathan Haidt, he wrote a book titled The Anxious Generation. And after reading it, I thought, there's no way in hell my 11-year-old daughter is getting on social media, let alone getting a cell phone. And guess what? I made that decision, not the government. I'm the one taking the brunt of my daughter yelling at me that I'm the worst dad on earth. And that's my job, to set the bumpers for her safety. Hard? Yes. But guess what? That's parenting. And the problem is, too many people want the government to take away all the bad stuff so we never have to make tough choices. But life is hard. And the First Amendment protects freedom of expression, which means we take responsibility for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because what the government giveth, the government taketh away. So you may like age verification for social media, but when the government says you need permission to speak, what will you do then? Not a sermon, just a thought. I'm Israel Balderas, and this is What Up 1A. See you next week.